Hello, I am Professor Sanda Iliescu, and this coming spring I will be teaching a course titled 100 Days of Making. This course grows from my belief that artists, designers, and architects learn most when they are engaged in the daily practice of their craft. In other words, when they make each and every day. As opposed to adopting a traditional class model that is centered on a final project, for example, a final review or paper, I have structured this class in a way that focuses on the daily practice of each student. For the first few images in this presentation, I am sharing one of my own daily practices, a collage project titled Catherine's Collages. Now, each student in the class identifies one specific project and commits to exploring it every day over the course of 100 days. At the start of the course, each student must thus define the subject and the conceptual ideas, as well as the methods, techniques, and materials of their individual project. Each day, each student works on their project and posts the results on Instagram that very same day. Last year, students chose a wide variety of subjects and projects. For example, one student designed imaginary pavilions on the themes of earth, air, water, and fire. Another student made a series of abstract paintings in acrylics, and another one created a series of portraits of people important in her life. In this presentation, I will showcase work by two students, Elsa Tai and Nita Warechachai. Elsa's project focused on the study of architectural details in a series of precise, hand-drafted drawings and watercolors. She began with drawings such as these that show architectural details in the West Edition of Campbell Hall. Each day, Elsa worked patiently on very detailed measured drawings. The drawing at the top left is a cross-section of a bench in wood, steel, and concrete. The other two drawings are details of a steel stair railing. There is an amazing delicacy and precision to these graphite drawings made by hand using very simple drafting tools. In this study done in watercolor on paper, Elsa emulated the colors and textures of concrete. The drawing is a luminous meditation in shades of gray, yellow grays, bluish grays, greenish grays, that capture the extraordinary delicacy and nuance in an otherwise very ordinary material, concrete. The drawing on the right is a study of a stair, and the one on the left is a detail of a hinge on a bed frame in Elsa's apartment. In her text for the project, Elsa wrote, "As I began drawing and sketching, I discovered that the forms of these details, despite their everydayness, can be surprisingly elegant in their functional simplicity." Once the pandemic hit, Elsa was confined to drawing details in her own student apartment. This watercolor study focuses on a window shade, something that is so familiar that we tend to ignore. Elsa's drawing shows us that an extraordinary window shade has a surprising elegance and complexity. Modest things such as window shades, Elsa wrote, are everywhere yet ignored and therefore worthy of our celebration. In her drawings such as these studies of a doorknob, Elsa wanted to celebrate the sense of touch. Here's what she wrote for her final project text. "We touch the same doorknob, the same faucet, the same kitchen counter, and our feet step on the same floor many times every day. This kind of intimate tactile experience is now, during the pandemic, only possible in our own homes." For her project, Nita Warichachai created sound-making devices, or what she called creatures, such as this one. Her project is titled Beings in Soundscapes. I began this project, Nita wrote, by creating physical sculptures that made sound and could be played like musical instruments. During the making process, each sculpture acquired a life and character of its own. To emphasize this unique character, Nita titled her sound creatures with names such as Doris, Phyllis, and Orpheus. Phyllis, the sculpture to the left, may strike us as a strange and perhaps humorous character. Orpheus, the creature to the right, evokes a quiet, lyrical, and recalls a plucking instrument such as a harp. One interesting aspect of Nita's sound-making devices is the fact that they usually include a variety of materials, as you see in these examples made of paper, metal, natural stone, cast polymers, concrete, and plastics. Yet along with this variety comes an amazing sense of cohesion, of diverse forms and materials, creating a unifying sculpture or sound being. Nita made sound recordings of each physical sculpture, and she later used their soundtracks to create an analogous digital model, a virtual creature like the one you see on the left. Its physical counterpoint, to the right, uses elastic string, wood, plexiglass, and a coin that rolls in the interior to create a lilting, rumbling kind of sound. In response to the onset of the pandemic, Nita wrote in her final project text, "My work faced some new yet potentially interesting limitations. Originally, I focused on making interactive creatures meant for physical touching and playing. In response to our new context, the pandemic, I maintained the idea of interaction, but made it an entirely digital one. These two images show two states of one digital creature that changes its shape in response to external sounds made by the viewer." At the end of the project, Nita designed an animation, or what she called play. Here you see two stills from her play that show both the shapes of the moving, vibrating creatures and the paths that they take on a square gridded stage. Not only are Nita's digital animations fascinating to watch, as the creatures move, make sounds, and interact with each other, but the still frames such as these two are exquisite drawings in and of themselves. In its emphasis on working iteratively, 100 Days of Making is a unique class. As you have seen from the work of Elsa and Nita, students in this class have discovered that working daily to develop new iterations of a single individual project can result in surprising and creative transformations. This image, which shows one of Nita's sound structures, is the last in my presentation. Thank you for watching with me, and goodbye.